I'm Charlotte Nock. I'm a solicitor in Girlings Private Client Department, so I specialise in the preparation of wills and administration of trusts and estates. Every adult should have a will, but particularly when you have assets or children. To plan for your family's future and to have regard for inheritance tax rules, it's best to meet with a solicitor to discuss your circumstances, to prepare wills that are appropriate to your situation and that take into account current inheritance tax rules so that your wishes align with the rules and your estate devolves in a tax efficient manner. I would advise that you consider the contents of your will every couple of years to ensure that your circumstances are adequately catered for and that your will still aligns with your wishes. If you die without making a will, the intestacy rules provide default rules as to how your estate passes on death. The intestacy rules don't necessarily align with what your setup is. So for example, if you cohabit with someone and are unmarried and haven't made a will, your estate will in all likelihood devolve according to your bloodline relatives, as opposed to the person that you potentially spend all your life with and would want to benefit. If you die leaving no spouse or civil partner or children, then it could defer up to your parents or your siblings as to them being authorised under the intestacy rules to deal with your estate. Now, if you have a number of siblings, any one of them can apply to administer your estate. To allay all of those difficulties, it's advisable to make a will so that you can specify exactly who it is you want and trust to handle your estate, and then specify where you want your assets passing. The difficulty arises with jointly held assets when there is no will over property. If you hold your property with your partner as tenants in common and have no will, it may well leave your partner in a very difficult position if something awful were to happen to you, because they may find that they're beholden to whoever your bloodline relatives are and own that property with you. If you don't leave a will and you have young children, it would be down to your nearest family to choose between them or to argue between them as to who would apply to court to have the authority to look after your children. If you want to ensure certainty as to who looks after your children, then it is advisable to make a will including guardianship clauses. An executor is the person or people that you choose to name in your will that you entrust with dealing with the administration of your estate, so that is carrying out the terms of your will. You can have up to 4 executors. You need to think carefully about who those executors are, whether they would get on with each other, and whether they would be capable of dealing with your beneficiaries and ensuring that your wishes are put into effect. Some people make many wills during their lifetime, so probate is a really important process which establishes and confirms the last will as the person who's died's last will. That process involves making an application to court, and you give evidence to the effect that this was the deceased's last will and therefore the one that can be acted upon. At the point that you're ready to apply for probate, it usually takes around anywhere between 2 to 6 weeks for probate to be issued. It can vary because it can take quite a lot of time to gather the information needed for the probate application. It can also depend on how long the probate registry, which is the court that handles probate applications, takes to process the application. For more information on making a will and succession planning generally, please do call me or any one of our private client team at Girlings, and we'd be pleased to help.